Yeah, we'll get the cars out, we'll get the garage looking pretty, we'll get the basic tools and equipment set up. Jack.
It's just lean and clean.
Hey, they've left your kit out for you. 2024, hello 2025.
I don't know, really.
Back to the gym, Dory. Did you feel the jacket?
I'm Noah Cosby.
My name is Paul Bullock. My name is Caleb Mutdub.
I'm Aaron Morgan. I'm a racing driver for Team Brit. And we're in Portugal for our pre-season test.
Pre-season testing is really important. We're getting the drivers up to speed, getting the mechanics up to speed. But it's also about getting the team together in one place.
You know, just getting back into a place where you can begin to be competitive again. Get used to the new performance of the car as well.
Making sure we can buy a bit of reliability for later in the year. And also about building trust between each member. We've got 4 drivers here in the test. What's set up on the car is going to be a good compromise from what driver A needs and what driver B needs, because rarely is it identical. Aaron, who's our most experienced driver, Paul, who's got 2 seasons of McLaren racing under his belt, Noah, who's done 1 race, and Caleb, who's never driven the McLaren. We need to come out and we need to get the drivers in the cars and we need to test those setup changes with each driver. So the cars are identical. They both have the hand controls on and they both have the pedals.
Caleb's able-bodied. He's a deaf driver.
I have my own steering wheel, which have flappy paddles.
I'm using hand controls, so accelerate on the right, brake on the left.
When driver changing, I swap the steering wheel.
It switches in and out like that. There's nothing else you need to do. Just pull the wheel off.
So when we do the driver changes, we just pick up whatever combination controls we use to drive that car.
Hi, I'm Michael Broadus. I'm the driver coach for Team Brit. So my job is to get the guys comfortable in the cars as quickly as possible, just making sure the guys understand the cars with the dynamics, all the systems, how everything works, and trying to extract as much performance from them as safely as possible. So we do a mix of techniques where I'll go out in the car, I'll set some reference laps so we've got some data to compare against, I'll sit in with the guys, and we'll go through corner by corner with instructing, coaching, and just trying to push through their comfort level and build their confidence and understanding of the car. And then we do a lot of work with the data between sessions, so we'll pick out things with their braking technique or their throttle technique that we can refine and make better.
Throttle pickup point's good, and then the last corner, I come off throttle later, so I roll more speed to the apex. I know where the positioning of the car is better from that.
So a lot of getting quicker doesn't actually come from sitting in the car, it comes from looking at what you've just done.
So I first got involved with Team Brit in 2019. Stopped working for the team as I went full-time in Formula E in the World Championship. And then now this season I've come back to work again with the team, engineering one of the cars. As an engineer, I'm on the radio to the drivers as they go around. So I'm working with Noah and Caleb. Lots of communication with them, and then good communication with the mechanics as well if we need a setup change and what we're doing with tyres and fuel.
You need to trust the person next to you, whether that's a driver, whether that's a mechanic. But secondly, even when you do trust them and it does go wrong, it's a lot easier to understand where that mistake has happened and to work with that person to correct it so it doesn't happen again if you've got a good relationship with them. So having the team building and the sort of get together for pre-season, that's really important going through to the season. We've been out here for a couple of days before we even get in a race car. Been out together, we've been go-karting together, we've hired motorcycles. All things would be quite normal for a normal race team, but then when you remember a lot of us either have, you know, limbs missing or in wheelchairs, that adds another element to how we go about those things and do that. Having Noah on the motorbike, that was emotional for me. I remember the first time I got back on my motorbike after my accident, and it was a big moment. So to see Noah get back on a motorcycle after 4 years of being in a wheelchair and experience that again, I think that was more emotional for me than it was for him. And therein lies the ethos of Team Brit. Nothing is impossible. We just keep practicing or working at it until we can do it.
Being in a wheelchair, going abroad
is less than ideal. It's not like we jump on the Team Brit private jet and fly out here, although that would be nice.
Got to worry about things like how we're going to take all our luggage and all that. One really nice thing actually about being in wheelchairs in airports is you can skip every queue. You don't need to worry about that, and that is absolutely lush.
But when we travel together, we're there for each other, so it makes the whole job easier. So we'll all chip in and sort of move things around or get things to where they need to be as a team rather than individually. So that makes a big difference. JJ, can you turn it off? While we're filming, I'm looking for a new #1 mechanic, so if anyone's out there and they want a job. We have a very unique humour in the race team, because obviously we've all been through our own journey. So we have quite a comfortable relationship talking to each other.
Really nice being partnering with Noah.
Yeah, it's really good to be close with your two mates because I think you can both bounce off each other.
I'm super chill.
Anxiety's up
Oh,
here.
yeah, if you do the tiniest lift on this corner, you're spun, mate. You're done.
Yeah, Paul's lighthearted attitude massively helps, especially when my nerves are high before a race or if I'm worried about something specific.
We've had some fantastic weather for our pre-season tests, so we've been pounding around the laps as a team.
The mental side of racing is, far more visceral actually than the physical side.
Yeah, it's somewhere between nuclear physics and a maths test.
The most important thing is having a level head on track, and if you don't, everything else just goes out the window.
Trying to adapt to the constant changing situation and remember everything that you need to remember and still be competitive.
You've got to constantly fight with being on the edge, which is very scary going that speed. But, if you want to keep up there with the fast guys, you've got to let that go and get on with it.
That's part of the sport, part of the job.
My first time in a McLaren, oh God, it's hard to explain.
I felt like I lost so much of myself through my accident, and it took a massive chunk out of my own kind of confidence. Being back doing something like this that I love has just instantly replaced that.
It means so much to me getting to take my dad out when it's something that I wanted to do in my lifetime, because I want to show him what he got me through. He has put so much into my career. Without him, God knows where I'd be.
I'm looking forward to Noah being in the McLaren. I've watched him come up through all the various cars, sort of a year behind me, and he's been waiting to get into the McLaren and prove how good a driver he is. And I think we've seen that over this test period. So seeing where he goes from here, that's really exciting.
Yeah, it wouldn't be possible without the sponsor of my dad.
That's what Team Brit's all about, really, just getting out there and, overcoming something like this.
It sounds a bit hyperbolic, but I don't think it is to say that we are the world leaders in adaptive technology in a motorsport setting. And we've proven it, time and time again, our drivers are using the technology to win races.
Our goals this season are the same as ever. We want to inspire others, but we also want to win on track.
And that gives me such a sense of, joy and a place where I can feel like I'm really back to, who I was before my accident.
I'm really excited for the season ahead. I'm looking forward to see what's for us, me and Noah.
Now, after these 2 amazing days of testing, we're going to go to round 1 and we're going to smash it.
So we were very lucky here in Portugal. We're delighted to be joined by our sponsors. We had SHD Composites come and join us. V-Box Motorsport were out here as well. It's such a great way to see how the team operates. So if you're thinking what to do next year, come and join us here at pre-season testing. You'll have an absolute blast.